Eles deu nothing. Eles deu nothing. Not one of you will do nothing.
I'm not impressed by your performance.
When the opponent expands, I contract. When he contracts, I expand.
Good day, listeners and fellow athletes and fathletes. Welcome to the episode of Fathletic with my co-host, Mr. Stephen Rolfe. Stephen Rolfe, how are you today?
What is that accent? What's going on?
It's all of them, bro.
That's like I don't know where that came from.
It's every single one.
When have you ever used
All
that
of them.
accent?
Just now, bro.
I'm so
Just
confused
now.
by
Just
everything
fucking
you're doing.
now.
All right. Well, do you want to get into like right off the bat? Just want to say the fights last week. Holly Holm is still good. Pushing
Talk
40.
about a clinic, bro.
Pushing 40, still looking
Yeah.
good. Yeah, shut down
yeah.
everything Irene Aldana was trying to do to her.
Oh, I
And
have
it's
to
like-
say, though, that terrible game plan
Yeah.
on our Irene Aldana's side.
Like, let me just circle the entire thing into her powerful side. Oh, smart moves. Yeah. She's
It's
like
like-
she didn't get head kicked to oblivion.
Yeah, it's like, look, Holly Holm does one thing very well, and you're going to just let her do that the whole time?
The whole time. Yeah.
The whole time.
Yep. Anyways, that was the only fight I watched in the whole card.
I was a little disappointed, actually, by watching. Like, not because Holly Holm won, but just because of the level of fight that it wasn't.
Yeah. There is a massive skill gap between the top 5 and below. And if you're not in that top 5, and Holly Holm is like top 3 probably.
Easily.
And she's just it was a clinic, and it was one of those things where you're like, it's so one-sided, it's boring.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's a good way to put that.
Yeah.
But it's crazy just, again, seeing her hop on her bike. Just
Yep.
like, that's so exhausting.
Yeah. So it was the only fight from the card I watched. I wasn't around, but I got home in time just for like right when it was starting. I was like, all right, sweet. And then I watched 2 rounds, and I was like, there's not.
I'm going to go get food.
Yeah,
now.
exactly. I closed it out for a bit. I came back for the 4th and 5th rounds, and I was like, yeah, it's exactly what I thought it was going to be. Holly Holm is just too good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's...
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what's left for her, though, in turn for Holm.
It's at that thing where, like, she can't beat Amanda Nunes.
Mm-hmm.
And now Amanda has the 135, 145 class, so she can't beat her in either of those weight divisions. She's not like it's not like she's going to move down to 125 and fight Valentina. So she's in this weird place where it's like you have to prove that you're still worthy to give Amanda another shot. Because she got fucking head kicked to the Shadow Realm last time, or prove that I don't know, that you're not a gatekeeper, and she just might.
I feel like that's the only path right now, and it's not necessarily
it's not her fault. It's not her fault that Amanda Nunes is so good.
Yeah, it's not her fault that Amanda Nunes is so good, and it's not her fault that the talent pool is so shallow right now.
Yep.
So
yeah, she's kind of relegated right now to facing up-and-coming contenders to see if they're ready for Amanda Nunes, and challenging herself to see if she's still capable of fighting Amanda Nunes at a top level.
Yeah.
And being
I mean, she's
number 1
essentially
contender.
fought a who's who, you know?
Yeah.
But it's like she's kind of facing that almost like a Carlos Condit problem where it's like, yeah, we all know you bang, bro, but it's like, where else do you go?
Fit, and you're 40.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
good big ups to her, though. You know,
Yeah.
I feel like we were talking shit about her.
No, she did great.
She did really good.
Like I'm impressed by how good she is. It's just that I don't know what she should do.
Yeah.
She's in a weird spot.
Yeah, and I would say the fight IQ by Aldana's corner and her in general. It's like you don't have tips for her, bro. You don't want to tell her.
You don't want to tell her stop moving to the right side. How about spinning in the
like,
same direction, going that way and that way and that way?
Is
again?
that not your job as coach
Yeah.
to move her? Like
to do something, tell her, hey, you keep going to this one side, which is Holly Holm's power side, and if you keep moving that way, she's gonna tag you every
be
single
like, hey,
time.
you know what happened right now for 5 minutes straight? If you keep doing it, it's gonna keep happening, and it did.
It did.
It
Yep.
really did.
For 5 rounds.
So fucking boring.
But there's fights this weekend.
I didn't even look up the card. Who's fighting?
Well, the main event is Marlon Moraes versus Corey Sandhagen, which is a good fight. Moraes is great. Everyone is putting their
seen
money.
Moraes fight.
Yeah, everyone's putting their money on Sandhagen, and I got my money on Magic Moraes. Man, the dude is big for 135, like wide, big, muscly guy. When he was fighting Henry Cejudo, I thought he was going to kick Cejudo's ass after that first round, but then Henry turned on the jets and was like, "Oh, I forgot that I'm an Olympic gold medalist, and I know how to fuck people up." And so that was, but Moraes is great. His knockout of Aljamain Sterling was nutty. Like Aljamain went to shoot for a single, got kneed right to the head,
Oh, that's in some
Yeah.
fucking highlight reels. I remember that. Yeah.
He was gonna throw a kick, but then he got kneed instead. Like Marlon Moraes was like throwing a kick, and then Aljamain's face just ran into his knee.
Like, eat my meniscus
Yeah.
instead.
So it's a good one. And then Sanhagen, I think we just saw a fight. Aljamain Sterling was choked out in like 10 seconds.
Jesus.
So yeah, it's just it is what it is. Sanhagen's good. He's young, but I just think Moraes is better all around. He's got more skills. But we'll see. I don't know who else is. I think
this shit's lagging.
I'm trying to think who else is on that
card.
card. There's like one other name that's kind of big, like an up and comer. There's a dude from the Dana White Contender Series who just fought like 3 weeks ago, who's fighting again. I think he was the quickest turnaround from Contender Series to UFC debut. I think it was like
cool.
something like 10 days. And so
All right, let's
now he's
see.
fighting
So
again.
there's Tom Brees, Kabir Bular, Rodrigo Nascimento, Chris Daukaus, Impa Kasanganai.
That's the guy from Dana White's Contender who's really good.
versus Joaquin Buckley. Dude,
Yeah.
two fucking black superhero looking motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Good for you guys.
Yep.
Tony Kelly, Giga Chikadze. I don't know how to say her name.
Good job.
Yeah, it's pretty underwhelming
But, yeah,
card in general.
but the main event is a good one.
yeah, that
Yeah.
looks. They won't let me. I don't know how to navigate this. UFC,
The
your
UFC website
fucking
sucks. Yeah, the website sucks. I just go to Google and I just type in UFC Fight Night and I go to and it'll be like, this is what's happening today. I'm like, thank you. Here's the card. Here's the prelim. Here's the main event. I'm like, thank you. That's how I want it set up for me.
Well, we can jump forward 2 weeks though, and I would like to hear your take on Khabib.
You mean
Gaethje.
you mean what's probably going to be the fight of the year? Listen, man.
What do you think?
Habib, we've never really seen Habib hurt except one other time when Michael Johnson kind of hit him with a left hand that had Habib kind of stunned, but we've never really seen him hurt.
Agreed.
And Gaethje hurts people like bad. Like everybody
Justin hurt Gaethje. That should be his fight name.
Yeah. Like what he did to Tony Ferguson is what we see Tony Ferguson do to people. Like everybody comes out beat to shit and bloodied up, and then Tony Ferguson got that treatment. I mean, he looked brain damaged when he was shaking his head, like trying to keep himself conscious because he was getting like just pounded to oblivion with heavy shots. Like every single one of those shots that Gaethje hit him with has knocked out other people. It's knocked out Edson Barboza. It's knocked out James Vick. Like we've seen him knock dudes out with those punches, and Tony was just taking them on the chin until eventually his brain was like, if we can take this, I don't know if I can keep moving. And Herb Dean thankfully stepped in. So we've never really seen Habib get hit. We've also never seen Justin get taken down. He's never been taken down in the UFC. His takedown defense is 100%. Never
this
touched the
website
mat.
says it's 80.
Well, they're stupid because I'm pretty sure the stat line is he's never been taken down in a fight in the UFC.
Maybe in a UFC fight.
In a UFC fight.
You know how
Yeah.
those statistics.
Those statistics.
But I mean, across the board, like most of their stats kind of balance each other out.
Yeah, if his takedown defense is 80%, Habib's takedown accuracy has got to be somewhere in the 70s. Like all he does is take fools down.
I get persistence over anything. Success over
How many
three
times?
failures.
Yeah, how many times can you block a takedown before when you're in like the fourth round? You're like, oh, this takedown thing is getting tough to defend.
It's the same takedown. Stop it, bro.
Yeah.
He just keeps taking. Breaks my soul to watch sometimes.
I'm Habib trained all the way. For me, it's Habib time all the time. The eagle will always fly. The dude is just so good. And yeah, Gaethje hits hard, but it's hard to hit a dude that's always on top of you and he's all over you.
Yeah.
Never lets you go. And he's just on your back and he's on your side.
What's your prediction, bro?
Habib, fourth round TKO.
Fourth round TKO? I think it's a second round TKO.
Wow.
Yeah. Just because like I've seen Gaethje fight and like he'll take one to give one, you know?
He does.
And that's gonna add up.
Yeah.
And statistically, like you said, we haven't really seen Khabib hurt.
Yeah.
And he's got just more strikes left. Like,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, when you haven't been hit a lot, you can take a little more damage. But I don't know, because like when James Vick got knocked out, James Vick was getting knocked out like every other fight, it seemed like. And then when Edson Barboza got knocked out, I mean, he went through a grueling destruction from Habib. He went through a lot. Like I think he went through a war with Dan Hooker. So the dude probably was waiting for a knockout. Like it was gonna happen. I don't see Habib getting knocked out unless unless Justin hits him with a brick inside the octagon.
Or fucks up in a scramble.
Yeah,
or
something's got to be crazy. It's going to have to be either a flash knockout. We don't like he goes in for a takedown, he gets kneed in the head, and it's game over. Like we see something like Jorge Masvidal. But like Khabib was eating Conor's shots and surviving. And everybody always talks about Conor's left hand is like a fucking stick of dynamite. But if you watch that fight with Conor, he ate a couple good left hands and a knee and was fine. Didn't really seem that hurt. So
because he knew. He was like, dude, I'm just going to get your ass on the mat.
Yeah.
And
the most significant punch in that entire fight was thrown by Khabib when he knocked down Conor.
Yeah,
so,
I remember that. That was such a moment.
Yeah.
You're like,
oh my God. Khabib knocked him down. Because it's that thing. You get so afraid of the takedown, you forget about the hands. And Khabib can throw a right hand. We've seen it. So.
What do you think about the all right, so it's obvious you're going with the champ on that one. Next one's Robert Whittaker.
Oh yeah, Jared Cannonier.
Yeah.
Cannonier, man, dark horse of that division. I really think he's gonna put it to Bobby Knuckles. I love Bobby, but Jared Cannonier's on a tear.
Yeah, he's also, as far as I could tell, bigger,
shredded, dude.
like
on all the juice.
Dude, how do you what?
When he used to fight at heavyweight, dude,
yeah,
he's massive.
That's true. He's
massive.
a huge dude.
Huge guy.
Not to say that like Robert Whittaker's not huge, but I would say
Robert Whittaker used to fight at 170.
Yeah, Cannonier's he's got a frame on him.
Yeah, you're looking at a guy that used to cut down to 170 and was like, fuck that, I'm going to cut just to 185 instead. And you got a guy that used to fight at heavyweight and was like, well, if I lose a couple pounds, I might be able to make it better and like healthier choices. Cut down all the way to 185 and looks like a god.
Yeah.
Like,
what do you think? What do you think?
Cannonier, second round knockout.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Straight starching that full second round. Okay. Next bouts, Walt Harris versus Alexander Volkov.
Yeah, the big ticket Harris. He looked okay against Alistair Overeem, and then Overeem just put it on him, took him down a lot.
Overeem's a enigma.
Yeah. Because sometimes he's really, really good, like shows all these skills.
And other times it's like, dude, are you done?
Yeah, yeah. So it's really up in the air. I'm not for sure, but and Volkov he got destroyed by Curtis Blades for 5 rounds, but like drained Curtis Blades for 5 rounds. Curtis Blades came out and he was like, I didn't expect him to be like his hips are real heavy, like he was really hard to take down. I give that to Volkov. He's a much better striker. Walt Harris is okay, but although Walt Harris has been motivated since the death of his stepdaughter, so
Walt Harris is ranked at number 8.
Yeah,
and then so Alexander's number 6. So you're going with the favorite.
Going with the favorite.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rafael Dos Anjos.
He's out of that fight. Is no longer fighting. He just tested positive.
That's what I saw on Twitter.
Yeah, just tested positive for COVID-19. And who was he going to fight? I forgot.
It's not even on the website right now.
Yeah.
But so I'm sure they're going through testing of the next 3 runners up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was excited, I think, to see him fight.
Brian Ortega's corner man just tested positive for COVID-19.
Jesus, fuck, dude. COVID just taking everybody out.
Yeah.
There's a women's flyweight bout, apparently. I did not know this. Lauren Murphy versus Cynthia Calvillo.
Oh, that's a good one. Lauren Murphy's, she's had a couple rough fights, but
she's ranked number 4.
Yeah. Cynthia Calvillo she's pretty great.
Yeah.
I'll probably give that to Calvillo.
Because she's prettier?
Yeah. Lauren Murphy's face looks like it's been through the fucking meat grinder.
Hey, Ronda Rousey was right. The pretty girls know how to bang.
Yeah. They got to protect that face.
She's smaller, though.
Yeah.
She is smaller.
I watched Lauren Murphy's last fight, and she did look good. I've also watched Cynthia Calvillo's last fight, and I think Calvillo looked really great, so I'll give it to Calvillo.
Okay. I mean, she is ranked number 2, so that's not a out of the woods bet.
Yeah.
I don't know, how the fuck do you say this guy's name? Jan Kutalaba?
Oh, Ian Kutalaba, yeah. Yeah, versus, the dude that he...
Magomed.
Yeah. So they were...
Ankalov
or whatever. So I don't know if you watched their first fight.
I did not.
Okay, so what happened was, which was the weirdest turn of events, you know, like when Bruce Buffer is introducing you and some dudes walk to the middle of the ring and they give like the thumb across the throat like I'm gonna fucking murder you. Ian Kutalaba walked across the ring into his opponent and like grabbed him and they threw him into the cage and then they had to separate them and I was like, that should be a DQ.
Yeah.
I feel like that should be a disqualification. So then they separated them, they got them to fight, and then they start throwing hands and Kutalaba's getting hit and he starts playing possum like he's, I'm rocked. And then he ate a shot and he's like, I'm rocked. And the referee's like, oh no, he's rocked. And then the referee jumped in and stopped the fight. And Kutalaba's like, no, I was just playing. So he was very upset. So
Who
now
was
they're
the
running it
ref?
back. So now they're running it back. I don't remember who it was. It was
I want to go look this up now.
Yeah.
All right.
I can't. I can see the dude's face, and he looks like he's like a mini Mark Goddard. Like it looks like it could be Mark Goddard's younger brother.
Isn't
I
it
haven't
funny
seen
how
that ref.
sometimes you see a ref, you're like, are you just a smaller fucking? Are you
Yeah.
a small John McCarthy?
Yeah.
Like,
There was that one dude that's no longer reffing anymore because of the damage he let Jose Aldo take in that fight versus Peter Yan. Dana was like, that guy's never working in the UFC ever again.
I don't remember that fight.
That fight
I heard about it,
that
but
fight
I
was
don't
brutal.
remember that
It was
fight.
brutal. Jose was done in that round for about a good 3.5 minutes, and the ref just kept letting him take shots.
Let's see. What? This is saying... I just found another website that said... oh, this is from August. Never mind.
Yeah.
That Jan and Magomed, I guess,
They were
supposed
gonna.
to
They're
fight.
supposed to fight. Then some shit happened. They couldn't make it happen. So then,
I can't find it.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, some fucking... Yeah,
I
I
think he tested positive for COVID. That's why.
I love hearing fighters talk about refs.
Yeah.
And then seeing who's reffing their fight and go, oh, I'm going to
Ah.
get fucked up
Yeah.
tonight.
Yeah, there's nothing like. That's why they had to get rid of Mario Yamazaki. What he let happen to Priscilla Cachoeira versus Valentina Shevchenko was one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. I remember watching it. It was the first time I felt disgusted watching a fight. Like, if anyone hasn't seen that, it's fucking brutal. Like, Valentina Shevchenko has this girl which it's Valentina's first fight at flyweight, right? We knew how good she was. We know she's like the top 3 female fighter in the world. They put her up against some unranked fighter at 125, and they were like, have at it. And Valentina's fucking this chick up for 3 rounds. Gets her in a crucifix for 2 rounds. Like, survives the first time she's in the crucifix. Then gets put in a crucifix again for 2 rounds, is eating elbows to the face for like 3 minutes straight. Blood everywhere. Just getting fucked up. And Mario Yamazaki's like, well, she's still breathing. I guess she's all right. And then finally stops the fight. And then when he's interviewed about it afterwards, he was like, well, I just wanted to give her the opportunity to be a warrior. Hey, fucker. You're in there to make sure she doesn't fucking die.
Yeah.
You
You
gotta
were
let-
there for the safety of the fighters.
It was brutal, and even that's why he hasn't reffed a fight anymore. He's been decommissioned. The guy that with Jose Aldo's been decommissioned. There's just some dudes where you don't let that shit happen anymore.
You know what sucks, though? Like, I understand that their health and safety is on the line as a ref, but judges don't get that level of scrutiny.
No.
Like, they're allowed to make their mistakes and
keep making mistakes.
yeah, but it's like, as a ref, I think it's
Their lives are in your hands.
yeah, their lives are in your hands, but the consequences are so much more in the moment. Like
Yeah.
right now, you can see it, but I would argue that
Mhm.
poor judging can do the same level of damage in
okay.
terms of like a career.
Yeah, I can see
You
what
know?
you're saying. Yeah.
Like, I don't know. There's sometimes I see a score and I'm like,
how'd you score that 30-27 for him?
how, bro? Let me sit you down on my podcast real
Yeah,
quick
let me
and you
talk
just
about this
sell
with
it
you.
to me, bro.
Yeah.
Because I just want to know.
I think the ref that stopped the Kudalaba fight is the same ref that stopped the Henry Cejudo TJ Dillashaw fight when everybody was like TJ was still in it. I think he's the same guy, so maybe he's an early jumper.
pre-picograms. Yeah, got it.
Yeah. Pre-EPO.
Fucking, that was one that wasn't shocking.
No. Every time I rewatch it, TJ is hurt. And there's a moment where he gets back up and Henry hits him with a 1-2 real quick and he drops again. And at that point, if I'm a ref, I'm stopping the fight.
Yeah.
Because he's trying to get up and he's getting knocked back down again.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
for me,
you're
I'm
not,
like, I
at that point,
understand.
you didn't intelligently just defend yourself.
And Dana, his whole thing was it's a champ fight. Like, let it go on. Like, you're trying to let TJ be a double champ. You have to give him the opportunity to die on his shield, essentially. But
then if he dies, it's your fault
it's
too.
your fault. So
Like,
it's a lose-lose
how do you
when you're
deal
a
with
ref.
that?
It's a lot of lose-losing when you're a ref. We hear it
Yeah.
all the time. Like, reffing is the hardest job. I would not want to be Herb Dean. I would not want to be Mark Goddard. We don't have Big John anymore. So
No.
we're down to 2 dudes who are...
he is the gold standard, and I do
Yeah.
appreciate that he's still involved.
Yeah. Yep. But I feel bad for those dudes. I wouldn't want to be there.
I mean, I do though.
Yeah.
You get the,
best
best
seat in the house, man.
The best.
Like
you might taste some
who was the
blood,
dude?
bro.
It's John Anik always says it. He goes, the no nonsense Keith Peterson. He says it every single time he mentions Keith Peterson's name. Right before it, he says no nonsense. And when Dominic Cruz lost to Henry Cejudo, he was like, Keith Peterson smelled like cigarettes and alcohol. I'm like, all right, man. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure he smelled like cigarettes and alcohol.
Okay,
Sure.
Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
He smelled like cigarettes.
Yeah. It's like, no, dude, you ate a big knee to the head. You were bleeding everywhere, and Henry Cejudo was about to hump you to death. It's
Yeah.
going to be a weird time.
I mean, it is a weird, for a long time, I think it was a hard distinction for the UFC to make in terms of like, is MMA sport or is it spectacle?
Yeah.
And so like what Dana White and the Fertitta brothers have done in terms of just putting the right people in the right places, I enjoy. But
Yeah.
the martial arts purist in me, it's like, you know, like what we're going to talk about today of Bloodsport, but like fighting to the death. There's something.
Like it's at the point. Do you want to see a fight get stopped before the dude is completely entirely out, or do you want to see a dude who's out who eats maybe 3 or 4 more shots before the ref steps in?
Yeah.
You know, it's that fine line of stopping the fight before a dude goes out, but you know he's not fighting back, between letting a guy who's out eat unnecessary shots. It's tough because I've seen fighters who get hit with a head kick, get dropped immediately, and eat 3 or 4 more shots before the ref has the time to pull the guy off of him.
Right.
But I've also seen a ref jump in when a dude's eating 3 or 4 shots, maybe he's defending himself, and then they go, well, he's done. It's like, well, was he?
Yeah.
Was he? So
I guess it just makes the gray area
yeah.
bigger. Because
Yeah.
like when it is just competition, like are we talking like Dragon Ball Z World Martial Arts Tournament, when it is just kind of.
I think if a title is on the line, let it run. Let it run a little longer.
Yeah, you're right. You're
Yeah.
right. The stakes are higher. They've
Yeah.
probably trained at a higher pace.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I agree. Like if it's a main event, let them bang.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Let them fight.
Let them fight. Let him die. If he dies, he dies. You know,
If
he
he
would
signed
like
a-
it that way.
He signed a contract.
He's
bro.
here for the belt. If he died in the ring, he'd be okay with it.
Yeah, you don't have to deal with the loss after that. Imagine being the only fighter to die,
Oh my God.
and then everyone like goes into the UFC afterlife, and he's like, "Yeah, party of one, bro. I'm
Yep.
the only one."
I wonder if every day Dana White goes in and he's like, I wonder if this is the day. I wonder if today's the day.
There's some fights though that you're like, oh, I'm pretty sure someone's gonna die.
And that's how I felt with Ngannou versus Derek Lewis, and then no
Oh,
one
yeah.
threw a punch.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
Run that one back.
yeah.
Come on,
How do we
man.
start a GoFundMe for that?
I don't know, but I think Stipe's fighting Francis again.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but you know, Francis
How-
has been looking like a goddamn killer lately.
Yeah,
so.
and how's Stipe doing though? Like
He's
when
doing all
what's
right.
the last? When was his last fight? Who'd
he
fight?
fought DC and he tore
Right.
DC's eye apart.
Right,
Yeah, with a mean finger poke.
but
I think Stipe looks great. He looks
Stipe-
shredded. He's
Stipe
looking
looks-
lean. He's got that cool hair now.
I do remember that fight now.
Yeah.
But it's for Daniel Cormier is kind of at a weird spot where yes, he's the tip of the spear there, but like
But he's not Francis Ngannou scary.
yeah, he's still approachable almost
Yeah.
as a fight. It's like if you're in a fight with DC, yes, you might get mollywop, but there's a
Yeah.
small chance that like you could win.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like he's gonna dominate. And
Like I thought Curtis Blades was gonna wreck Francis Ngannou's shit because Curtis Blades is a phenomenal wrestler, and then Francis just charged at him and hit him with a bunch of shots and knocked him out. And then he did the same thing to Rosenstruik. Like Rosenstruik's like, I'm used to fighting big boys, and then fucking you're not used to fighting the goddamn Predator. Like he just rushed at him. There was no technique in any of those shots that he was throwing. Any of those punches, there was no technique, and he just clipped him with an overhand left and just ba 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 ba, and it was game over. Like there's just something about Francis Ngannou when he's rushing at you. He's 240 pounds of pure muscle and African heritage and bloodline running through him, and you don't fuck with that. And he's gotten better since his loss to Stipe.
isn't that crazy to say
Yeah.
that like these dudes that are at the pinnacle continue to improve?
He was with Mike Tyson getting tips and pointers about how to improve shots and punches. Like he was with Teddy Atlas and he was with Mike Tyson. Like, do you want Francis Ngannou to be
Dude.
level 100?
In terms of boxing, like Teddy Atlas is his YouTube videos about breaking down styles and,
Yeah.
and just being technical
He did
about
one
it.
for
Like,
Izzy. He did one for Adesanya.
yeah, it's beautiful
Yeah.
to hear him listen to to describe the science and,
Yeah.
and why and what and how it's so technical of an art. It's one of my favorite things to
He was
watch.
showing Francis how to throw a proper uppercut.
Yeah. yeah.
And we know he can throw a mean one if you've ever seen the the one he knocked out Overeem. He can throw a mean uppercut.
Yeah. It's the genius of it is cool. He's I would say like a sage of boxing.
Yeah.
Like in terms of, just his lineage alone.
Yeah, and he was talking about what it was like talking with Customato about Mike, and it's like, dude, like that level of boxing knowledge is unfathomable. It's so crazy.
In Mike or with Ted? I mean, I guess both.
With everything, just being able to break down fighting and break down boxing and like get it to its roots of what it needs to be.
Yeah,
so good.
It's
scary.
I relate a lot of martial arts and boxing in general to like comedy in the sense of like what you're trying to do is get down to the bare essence of it.
Yep.
Nothing extra.
Yep.
And that's what I like about Teddy Atlas. That's what I like kind of about that whole peekaboo style is like it is fundamentals, but it's smart fundamentals. It's like I'm here
keep
for a
hands
purpose.
Keep your hands, keep that guard high, and then just come in. Wah!
Yeah, like you're small, you're little, like you're here. You work your angles, get in, get on the side. Like that's
what was funny about Mike teaching Francis about how to step to the side and throw a punch. Like he's got to sneak in. Francis isn't sneaking in on anybody.
Yeah.
He's like 6'5".
yeah. That's the. I don't know if his body's really.
He doesn't have that kind of fast twitch. Like move to the left and throw a punch. He's
not
all
in the core
power.
at least.
No, he's all power in those hands.
Yeah. What's nasty to see though is like when Tyson was showing him how to punch. It's like, oh, you're still light on your feet too, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, when he moved to Francis's right side and threw that quick punch to his body, I was like, oh my god, Mike is fast, like crazy fast.
Yeah.
Even at that old age, still has that fast twitch muscle. Like he can just come in and throw it, and it's like, oh my god.
How long can he do it for? I don't know. But don't.
Anything is possible.
Don't let him touch you.
Black don't crack.
Fuck, dude. Yeah. It's so scary. But I can't listen to him talk until after the fight. It is
He's
so.
in other headspace right now.
It is so strange how his psyche completely transforms.
He's in two different headspaces.
It's like he shuts off one side of his brain. Like now we're just an animal.
Yes. It is pure animal, and it's scary to listen to. When he was on Rogan, I was like, I don't want to be in that room. If I was Rogan, I'd be like, you know what? Let's just cut this interview short, man. It's been nice talking to you, Mike. I'm gonna get out of here.
It wasn't even talking, even.
No.
It's like it was just. Yeah. He was talking. It wasn't a conversation.
No. Yeah.
And so, I haven't listened to the Hot Boxing podcast in a little while because of that. But because of it, I know that Mike Tyson is training.
Yep.
He is trying to get back to the baddest man on the planet.
He's training and doing DMT with Henry Cejudo. So,
yeah. Dude, he's going to come out with shorts on, and then on the shorts is going to be a toad.
Yeah, dude.
He should come out walking like Jiraiya Sensei. That would be great. Man. Just a toad sage running on a toad.
Oh my god.
That would be great.
Anyways, let's get into what we said we were going to talk about last week, which was Bloodsport. We finally watched it, man.
Yeah, we finally watched Bloodsport. Actually, I want to hear about your time on stage for the first time.
Oh my god, wasn't it rough? Wasn't it
I don't know.
sad?
I don't know. You tell me.
It was brutal.
How'd you feel? What is
La Placenta? Is that what it's called? Placitas? Yeah.
La Placenta.
Whatever, dude. I can't remember what it's called. Placitas, whatever. That's a fun mic. I like the way being outside though, and like I said, doing comedy to the ambient noises of passing cars and chirping crickets. Weird vibe. But what else are you gonna do now in COVID times?
Yeah.
But I didn't have a lot of material. I definitely didn't have 7 minutes, Frankie Oy. Jesus, let's just do 7.
Just
oh my
stretch.
god, I had like a piece of paper with some shit on it, like bullet pointed versions of things I had written. And it was all right. I had like a couple laughs, I think, and then we did that at Worthington's, and it was awful. That was way worse.
Did you feel rusty?
Oh my god! I felt like I was covered in I felt like I'm not even rust at that point. Like I'm a screw that's been out in the rain for 100,000 years. That's also been buried in dirt. You pull me out and you go, "This isn't a piece of metal." Like
this is a fossilized bone.
Yeah. Oh my god! It felt weird. It felt so weird. Like there was a little hint of, I remember how to do this, and then a lot of, no, I don't. I don't even have I don't have anything. So, I mean, it's nice to be out and do it again. I need to do it again quickly because, oh my God, was it brutal that second time.
It's hard when now, like, we only have a handful of opportunities to kind of run it back.
Yep.
Was there any aspect of it that you were like, oh, I forgot about? Like, like for me,
I forgot how timing works.
timing. For me, it was the emotional aspect of comedy that I forgot. That emotional drain that you feel when something bombs,
Oh yeah.
or like when you set something, like your next joke is a banger, and then you fuck up the joke before it, or you say something wrong that sucks the energy out of the room. Like that emotional feeling, I forgot about.
Like I opened up at Placida's. I opened up with a joke I thought would be funny that wasn't funny, and then followed it with a joke that I didn't think was going to be funny that ended up being funny. So then I went to Worthington's and I switched them, and then they didn't work.
And then neither of them worked.
Neither of them
and
were
you're
funny.
like, I don't know what to do.
I don't know what to do now. So fuck the rest of this set. But I mean, it was fun to see everyone. It was nice to see everyone and be like, oh my God, you're alive, you're alive, you're alive. COVID didn't get any of you. I can't believe it.
Right?
Yeah.
There's
Brandy told me she got COVID.
Yeah.
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 I was like, what were you doing? How did you get it?
She was just hanging out. I mean,
Yeah.
it's statistically someone.
She was like, my sense of smell went away, and I was like, oh no. I was like, that's definitely a sign.
She's like, now I'm coughing every day.
Oh God. And now I'm serving you drinks. By the way, we have no carbonation.
All right. Well, it was good to see you back.
It was good to
that
be
was
back,
fun. I
man.
just wanted to know what your thoughts were.
Terrified.
After, because it's like your feeling after the mic is one thing, but once you get to sit on it for a little while and really evaluate yourself, I think is where the real work comes in.
Yeah, and I gotta write more.
We all do. We all do. We ought to make up some shit. Speaking of making up some shit, Bloodsport. Let's see if I can find some stats for this movie before we go in. So Bloodsport came out in 1988.
Yep.
Fuck.
Yeah, late 80s. It had the music of late 80s
Definitely.
for sure.
And the cinematography
Yeah,
of late 80s.
yeah, weird zooms.
Yeah, weird close-ups. A lot of just like, why is he in the center of the frame? This doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense.
Apparently grossed $50 million.
Jeez.
Its budget was only $2.3 million.
So it made a shit ton back.
So
that's
when
good
it
for
came
investors.
out, this was a fucking banger.
Yeah.
Banger.
Yeah. And it's got a cult following now. People still love it.
Yeah. And arguably John Claude's first break. It's like his
breakthrough role,
Yeah,
and is regarded as his best film. Which, if that's the case, oof.
I enjoyed Kickboxer more.
Dude, there's a guy in this movie who is legitimately a Muay Thai fighter that Jean-Claude eventually goes up against. And all of his fights that they show him in, that dude is great. Like, he's doing legit Muay Thai. He's throwing leg kicks. He's checking kicks. He was doing a Muay Thai clinch, and then he was throwing knees and elbows. I was like, that dude in real life would fuck all these guys up. But then he gets beat by Jean-Claude.
Yeah, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think Kickboxer is the next one you should
watch?
watch if you enjoyed the Muay Thai aspect of that.
Okay.
Because I feel like Kickboxer took the greatest hits of Bloodsport and made it work.
Okay.
For those of you that haven't seen this movie, it's following Jean-Claude plays this dude named Frank.
Mm-hmm. Frank Dux. Dukes.
Who according to Frank, has trained in the arts of ninjutsu under someone named Senzo Tanaka.
Yeah.
Now, as a ninja aficionado, I'm going to tell you that name is made the fuck up.
Yeah.
Because there are, at this point...
You want to know how made up it is?
Yeah, explain.
It appears in the second book of the 007 Bond series as the main villain.
It's so... It's interesting the things that someone can get away with in the... Because Frank was probably 70, so, pre-internet. It's interesting how far you can take a
pre-internet,
lie.
people were saying anything back then. No one could fact check you back then. Everybody would just be like, I don't know, it sounds maybe plausible. But this guy said he worked for he was a Navy, he was a Marine Corps Reserve, and that he worked for the CIA over in Vietnam. And they were like, hey, you enlisted after Vietnam was done. So why were they sending you to Vietnam? Anyways.
It was a black operation.
Yeah.
It wasn't on the books.
Listen, it wasn't on the books. Anyway, so Jean-Claude Van Damme is playing this guy. And right off the bat, there's some really funny scenes. Like when the guy that's his friend, who's, I can't remember his fucking name, but he's a big burly dude who just drinks beer and punches people. He's punching a bag, and his friend's like, you gonna go to the Kumite? And he's like, hell yeah. And he was like, I could use some more scars on my face. I'm like, all right, well, off the bat, that's not a good move. If you're intending on getting hit, not a good move. And the guy's like, well, people die when they go there. And he goes, only if you're dumb. And it's like, yeah, that's you, man. You're an idiot. I can tell off the bat you're an idiot.
Fucking meathead, bro.
Just a meathead, like a throw down, like old school UFC, like no
UFC
defense.
1,
Yeah, no defense. I'm going in there with my hands. I don't even throw kicks. What's a leg kick? I don't need it.
What's a gi?
Yeah, don't need it. I'm just gonna put my Harley Davidson bandana across my head. With my Harley Davidson tank top, I'm gonna show these fools what's up. What elite martial artist, hidden underground fight system, Harley Davidson tank top.
I totally forgot about that stupid headband shit. God damn it!
I love that guy.
Yeah, he's like he's a good like typical like American character.
Yeah,
He's
goes in there, wins his
nicely.
first fight, comes back into the stands covered in blood. It was like, wasn't that cool? Wasn't that cool how I did that? A fucking great time. Yeah. Oh my god.
But so Frank Jean-Claude, I guess he goes to like steal a sword or something.
What his friends were there to steal the sword. He just happened to be there.
He's like he was the wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah.
And
is wearing two different Giants uniforms. He's got a San Francisco Giants hat on, but a New York Giants shirt on. So I guess he just likes the name Giants.
He wanted to let you know my career's going to be giant. And so some shenanigans happens, basically. Because let's be real, up until you get to the Kumite, it is kind of just a lot of shenanigans.
Yeah, it's a long flashback sequence of him staring at a katana, zooming in, flashback, me as a kid, flashback, me as a semi-young adult being trained, flashback, me maybe 3 years ago being trained.
It's very ambiguous.
Yeah.
They're like, you figure it out.
You don't need timelines.
Yeah.
How did that guy's son die? I don't know, but he's dead now.
I don't know, but this is his new American son, or his Belgian son.
Yeah. Yeah. His fucking accent was so weird.
Yeah.
And he's like, listen, I know your son is dead, and I know that you can no longer pass down the traditions that has been passed down to you, but I'll be your son. You've treated me like one. Let me do it. Train me. And then he's like, can you serve tea blindfolded? And he was like, yeah, I can do that.
Talk about some wax on, wax off bullshit, right?
Let me strap you to a tree and pull your limbs so you can learn how to meditate through pain. Okay.
Like, totally unnecessary, by the way. Like, you could have gotten the same workout with 2 chairs.
Yeah.
Bro.
Which we see a lot of Jean-Claude stretching his legs out in this movie. It's a lot of full stretch, full split stretches.
Yep.
Like, just showing off the dexterity of his hips. Like,
which he's always had. I mean, he's got, for those that don't know, Jean-Claude is a legit karate guy. Like he's participated, he's fought.
That is contested as well. But yeah, apparently he's 18-1 in kickboxing.
His record is contested, but he does have full contact karate history.
He has point contact.
Point
karate contact history. So he did what Stephen Wonderboy Thompson did, which is point karate.
Yeah. In terms of career timing, though, I think he snuck in while he was maybe trying to pick up some legit fighting things, and they were like, "You want to make a movie?" He's like, "Oh yeah, that sounds way better.
Make a movie, yeah,
that sounds way better.
Yeah.
I don't have to get kicked in the head."
Well,
yeah.
It's so funny when you look at Jean-Claude's like maybe he did, maybe he didn't aspect of his own life. Now playing a guy who is definitely of a no, you didn't. No, you definitely didn't. Guy in this movie of Frank Dux.
Yeah, that's
Frank Dux, whose record, according to him, is 397-0.
He probably brought a gun. Fuck, dude.
He has the Kumite knockout record of 0.12 seconds. The fastest kick knockout, which is okay. So they said the fastest knockout of 0.12 seconds, and then under it was fastest kick knockout of, not measured in seconds, 72 miles per hour. Okay, who's sitting there with a speed gun?
Dude, how do you get that job?
Who is ringside with a speed gun going, oh, it was 72 miles an hour he threw that kick. That was crazy. You guys see that? 72 miles
draft
an hour.
him.
Yeah.
Fuck, how do you...
Because the movie itself is I mean, it's everything 80s trope style. It's quirky, it's corny. The fight sequences are mostly in slow motion. A lot of jumping over people. Weird random sand attack out of nowhere.
Yeah, right? You're like,
what?
What are you, a fucking Pokemon, bro?
Like he had, when he put the pill in his pants, I thought this was something that he was going to pop mid-fight that would make him strong.
Like a Senzu bean.
Yeah. I was like, he's getting his ass kicked. Now it's time to pop that pill and get strong. No, he crushes the pill in his hands and then throws it like sand into his eyes And now Jean-Claude is like half blind, like he can see, but the world is spinning around him like he's tripping balls.
What if his coach was like, "No, you're supposed to eat it, bro.
Dude.
What are you doing?"
You just threw MDMA straight into his eyes.
It was $40, bro. This is 1980. The fuck is your problem?
Also, Forrest Whitaker's in this movie for whatever reason.
Yeah,
As a cop.
he was just trying to get credits, bro.
How big were those tasers? Those 1988 tasers.
Those fucking
massive
those cell phone size,
flashlight-sized tasers
Yeah.
that bounced off of shit and electrocuted some Chinese
Well,
dudes.
I mean, if you missed,
Yeah.
you could use it as a battery.
Also, surprising amount of Chinese dudes that speak fluent English in this movie.
Hey, man, you're ruining the immersion right now, okay? What do you want them to do?
Yeah,
This
the
was
immersion.
Hollywood.
The dude that's supposed to be playing the Muslim guy from the Middle East who looks surprisingly Chinese. Okay.
Fucking ridiculous.
And he fucks the reporter, because of course he does.
yeah,
'Cause of course he
that,
does. Because she's like, I just want to get to know you more. And tell me more about
I
this
didn't
Kumite."
like that because it's so 80s.
It's so 80s.
It's so like, here's a girl, you want to fuck her? Go.
Yeah. He was like, let me protect you from these men and also take you out to dinner and then also fuck you.
Right? Like, if I was that girl, I would be convinced that
Also-
he hired those people.
Also, she let him smash in the hopes that he would take her to the Kumite, and then he doesn't. So she goes there with some Asian business dude that she probably also had to smash.
Fucking whore. Fuck. I mean, but hey, that's a dedicated journalist.
It's dedicated journalism.
That's
And
how you get. That's how this story came to life.
it should have
bro.
ended with her getting her head chopped off because they were like no press, and she's sitting there openly recording into a tape recorder what's happening. Someone should have slit her throat for what she was doing. Anyway,
That should have been the opening fucking ceremony of the Kumite.
Yep, it's like we found all of the reporters that snuck their way in and the police officers, so we're going to bring them to the center and we're going to kill all of them.
Yeah.
Also, so the guy that he's fighting, the main villain of this thing, is like hell-bent on killing every single person he's up against.
Yeah, like, what are you, on roid rage or something, dude?
He's just like, I'm going to break this dude's leg, I'm going to snap this dude's neck, I'm going to break this guy in half, and this dude just dies. Also, it seemed like only one person officially died because they did that thing where they stood up and they faced the wall. But I'm pretty sure that big dude who snapped the monkey and the guy that was acting like a monkey
yeah.
and like broke his back, I'm pretty sure that guy's dead.
He probably. I mean, let's be real. If a Kumite existed and they would just put you on the stretcher outside.
Yeah.
You know,
The Kumite is very much like he just played Mortal Kombat or was playing Street Fighter and was like, oh, a series of events that ends with someone winning a thing against a bunch of martial arts guys. I could do that. Or maybe it's just a tale as old as time, that there is a hidden underground world where fighters get together to show who's the best. And as we know from UFC 1, it would be jiu-jitsu. But apparently in this, it's flying flippy kicks is the best form of
flying
attack.
flippy kicks.
Yeah.
I hope someone comes out and it's like, weighing in at 115 pounds as a flying flippy kick fighter.
Specializing in sand throwing and sneak attacks.
Jerusalem Adesanya. Fucking Jesus Christ. Flippy kicks.
But the best part of Bloodsport, besides him
Is
winning
the
the
villain,
katana,
I agree.
is the villain. This dude he is so big up top and so little down low. He's oddly proportioned. And also who he fucks up his American friend, who he tells him like, hey, go for the body, stay away from his right leg. He's like, what do you know?
I'm
What are
gonna
you,
do
my
what I
mom?
want. Yeah.
I'm going to go in there. I'm going to put my headband on because Harley Davidson rules. I'm going to show this guy what's up, and then gets his skull cracked. I thought he was going to die.
I
was hoping he was gonna die.
I mean, he should have.
Motivation, right?
Yeah.
To go out there and
Yeah.
kill the other guy.
That just makes the most sense.
But they were like, no, we're going to put him he's on a respirator, and he's going to be half dead with the worst bruise makeup I've ever seen in my life. It was just purple. They just put purple makeup on him. Like, see these bruises that he's
very
sustained?
80s.
Very
Very 80s. I like the villain because I'm a big Bruce Lee fan, and he was in Enter the Dragon.
Ah.
And
Was he as that big then?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That because he was. I'm pretty sure he was a bodybuilder and a martial artist.
He looks like a bodybuilder.
Yeah, he looks like he skips like.
Yeah.
But yeah, think about it. To be that yoked.
Yeah.
In the 80s. Like,
Yeah.
As a Chinese dude.
As a Chinese dude. And like he was telling me, he's soft to the body.
Yeah.
He definitely was. There wasn't a lot of abs going on there. Big in the arms, though. Big in the traps.
Let's Google this guy.
Yeah, I don't know that guy's name, but oh my God, was he massive. There was a lot of dudes that were shredded. And a lot of people that I was like, I think that guy might have done martial arts. That guy just looks like an extra. That they're like, you're Chinese and shredded. You could probably act like you fight.
You're Chinese, shredded, and you speak English. Perfect.
Yeah, perfect. Get in there. Act like you can throw punches.
So his Chinese name is Yangtze.
Nice.
But his stage name is Bolo Young.
Is he still alive?
Yes.
Wow.
He's 74.
Jesus.
He still has credits, dude.
Still acting?
He's got credits from 2017.
Oh my God.
Like, I mean, it seems to be every 10 years, but I feel like he's got that look that you're like, dude, I've seen you in something.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Can we talk about
in everything?
Can we talk about the scene that I think is one of the most iconic of this movie is when Jean-Claude is fighting this big dude, right? And he does the death touch on the guy's the dimmak on the dude's chest, and it doesn't kill him because he's thick. And then the guy rushes at him, and Jean-Claude does the splits, gets underneath him.
Thank God he got hung between a tree, right?
Yeah, so he knew how to do it. And then he uppercuts into the dude's balls, which I feel like, even though this is a full contact, no holds barred, all rules go fight, it's a bit of a bitch move.
A little fucked up.
A little
I
fucked
agree.
up.
I agree. Fucking Johnny Cage over here,
Yeah.
dude.
Oh, yeah. And they gave that to Johnny Cage. That is Johnny Cage's finishing move in Mortal Kombat is the splits to the nut punch, which is a dick move regardless of if you're a movie star or not.
Jean-Claude was, I believe, the basis for like
the movie star.
Yeah.
Of
the
dude from Mortal
action
Kombat.
star. Yeah.
Action star turned real life fighter. Let me put my shades on.
You know what's really funny, and I didn't realize this till probably 10, 15 years after I saw Bloodsport, is Jean-Claude Van Damme has an extra role in the movie Breakin'.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
It's a breakdance movie. Well, it's
oh my god,
less breakdance, more.
Are they dance fighting?
It was a pop and lock more.
Oh, okay.
Back when breaking was a more generalized term, and it included all the funk styles and b-boying.
B-boy, yeah.
That's when
B-boy is still my favorite of all the dancing things.
You think so?
If you're a B-boy, you got some mad skills.
For sure. I'm more of a funk style guy because I like the musicality that they bring to dance.
I just like seeing Asian dudes spin on their heads, man.
That too, that's dope as fuck. The dexterity that develops, the body control is amazing. But yeah, no, Jean-Claude is in Breakin', as in like it's a scene in Venice Beach. There's a little dance circle going on, and he's in like this fucking ugly ass Venice Beach onesie that he like just lifted weights, and he's all dancing, he's snapping his fingers. I'm like, you're so gay, bro.
You're so gay. Like, dude, even when he got done fucking the chick and he's putting on his little tiny underwear, and I'm like, you're so gay. You're so gay right now, man. Come on, you're laying in that bed with that girl, and you have to act like you just fucked her, but you're thinking about those dudes you're gonna have to fight later. You 100%.
Can't wait to get them all sweaty. And
so then the movie happens. He gets the win because of course he gets the katana.
Because of course it's the 80s.
It's the 80s. It's not like he's gonna lose and there's gonna be a sequel like it's some kind of Rocky film. Like no, it's a fucking fight film.
You know, it's interesting you mentioned that like there is a strong like 20 years where they're like, we're not trying to make a number 2, we're just trying to make a movie.
Trying to make a movie. So he wins, and then the part that surprised me the most is the end credits, where they say that this movie is based off of the life of Frank W. Dux from his span from 1975 to 1981, in which he participated in a Kumite for every 5 years, and that he holds the records for 55 or 56 consecutive knockouts, the fastest knockout, all of this shit. I saw all of that, and I went, no fucking way. There's no way that this is based off the life of some dude. There's no way. And so I instantly went to Google. I went to Wikipedia, and I looked this guy up. And this
all true.
This guy, unbelievably, is the real deal. I couldn't say it any better. I mean, I looked through his stats. There's no way he's lying about the fact that he was a covert operation guy for the CIA and was going in and nuking places with just his fist. There's no way he would lie about that. Not a real Canadian man, he was born in Canada and he worked for the CIA. I don't get it. Whatever.
And he said he got the Medal of Honor.
Said he got the Medal of Honor, and then he has a picture of himself.
Which there's records.
Yeah.
Like
and then he goes, no. The government expunged my record. They dismantled my records because they don't want people to know
They disavowed me.
They don't want people to know how much of a killer I am. I'm like, I'm a fucking killer. So then, the most wild thing about him is that he says that in the Kumite that you win, they give you a katana, right? He said he had to sell that katana to give as a bribe to pirates to not kill a boatload full of orphans, that they then robbed him of that money, that he had to go on a mission for himself and stop and rescue those orphans and stop a plot to assassinate Steven Seagal. These are all things he said.
They should have let him assassinate Steven Seagal. Should have just let it go,
And
bro.
I love in his mind, he thinks no one's going to go, bullshit. bullshit that you sold a katana to save a boatload of orphans and a plot to kill Steven Segall.
Yeah. Were people stupid back then? Or, well, I mean, maybe he was just a really good talker, you know, because like he had a school.
So he had a school,
everything. He had a book.
There's a great sequence of events where he claims at a martial arts expo he got into a fight with kickboxer something Frazier, who ended up fighting in the UFC. Right, he gets his ass beat, but he says he was sucker punched by Frazier, and Frazier was wearing brass knuckles. And Big John McCarthy himself was there and went, bullshit, that never fucking happened. He didn't get sucker punched. He was talking some mad shit, and Frazier put his ass down. That's what happened. And but Frank Dux is like, no, you don't understand. I'm a legit killer. I worked for the CIA. My hands are lethal weapons that are registered, and you don't understand how powerful I am.
I wish you could hear an eye roll.
Oh my God. And then he was like, I'm trained in the art of ninjutsu. You don't understand. I'm a ninja.
That's what upset me, all right? Because I am pro ninja. Always have been, always will be. And so I've looked into, even when I was growing up pre-internet, like I've had ninja education on my own terms, and then he started mentioning his sensei. I was like, that's not real, bro. That's not real. That's not even close to real. There's no Tanaka clan.
But whatever.
No.
Also, there are 3 things about him that are definitely true that we can say those actually happened. 1, he was born in Canada. 2, he was in the Marine Corps Reserve. And 3, he was a fight choreographer for a movie.
2, actually. I was looking it up. He was in
Bloodsport and
Lionheart.
Yeah, Lionheart.
And then, I don't know if you've seen it. It's interesting. Only the Strong?
No.
With, what's his name now? Mark Dacascos, I think. He does a lot of Taekwondo. If I show you a picture of him, you definitely recognize him.
For sure.
But in Only the Strong, the storyline is very Freedom Writers. This teacher comes into the hood and is trying to teach these kids how to be regular people and respect each other and whatnot. But Mark, he's learned capoeira.
Of course.
And so he's teaching these kids capoeira. And then
the least functional of all the things, like, I'm gonna throw a capoeira kick where half of my body is on the ground.
Dude, but it's so beautiful to watch.
Yeah,
I would.
It's a dance fighting.
It is a dance. Well, it's
dance fighting.
It's dance fighting, but only in the sense of, like, historically speaking, they weren't allowed in Brazil. They weren't allowed to. The slaves weren't allowed to train. They had to be sneaky about it, so they had to disguise their fighting as dancing.
What I love, though, is that he's the fight choreographer for Bloodsport, which means during those sequences, he was like, no, this is how it went down. No, this was real.
No, you're doing the dim mak rum.
Yeah, no. For legitimately, I did the splits and I punched the dude in the nuts, but in like 0.12 seconds. It was so fast. They didn't even see me do it. Like the entire, and he had a lawsuit with Van Damme over some shit that he was like, you told me you were going to do this, and when it never happened. Like, 2 bullshit artists fighting each other, and now it's in the courts. Like, it's so, I love it. I love that this exists.
It's so fucking 80s.
I love that someone heard this man's story and was like, that is so real, we have to make a movie. Like, there's...
I want to hope that, like, somebody heard about the Kumite story and then everything else got added in.
Yes.
They're like, oh, so tell us about this. Oh, well, while I was training in Taiwan.
Yeah. While I was on a secret mission in Vietnam, sent there by the CIA as a covert operation to kill the Viet Cong, I learned
here it is.
All these martial arts.
What your story about the kickboxer, Zane Frazier.
Yeah, Zane Frazier.
That's his name. Fucking stupid. Dude, if anyone sucker punches you with brass knuckles, you're probably dead, bro.
You're dead. Like, oh my God.
That's not a light touch.
He has revised his overall martial arts record a couple times where he was like, I'm like 321 7-1, but also now I'm 329. Now I'm 390 and 0. Like, no one's ever beaten me. I'm just the best, dude. I'm the greatest martial artist that's ever lived.
I will say, though, that embellishing and lying on your martial arts resume was not uncommon in that time.
No, and because there was no one to verify. You could be like, well, this guy was there. That's what the whole, the Bruce Lee versus that dude from China that stepped to him. Mm-hmm. Like, they had a fight that's supposedly super legendary. Then no one was there. Like, there was like a couple witnesses, and all of the accounts are different. This guy was like, oh, Bruce Lee and him got into it. Bruce Lee kicked his ass for like 3 minutes straight, and then the guy gave up. And then another guy's like, no, Bruce Lee got his ass kicked for 45 minutes, and then they gave up.
Yeah.
And so it's this weird back and forth. This is the time before iPhones. It's the time before, fucking Polaroid pictures where you could just get it right then and there, post it on somewhere, and message boards. Like, there was no one there to verify this shit. It's all word of mouth. And if anybody's ever played the telephone game, we know shit gets confusing when it's been told 17 times to other people.
Hella confusing.
So,
I mean, the only thing that, like,
I just love the absurdity, the levels of absurdity, especially selling your katana to save a boatload of orphans to end a plot to kill Steven Seagal. That in itself is a movie. That is a parody movie if I've ever seen one in my life.
Let's holler at the Wayne brothers for a second, dude.
Yeah.
Well, they can make a new string of movies and call it Fight Movie.
That's a South Park episode if I've ever heard one.
Fucking Fight Movie 1, Fight Movie 2. Maybe Fight Movie 3, they make fun of John Wick. I don't know.
Fight Movie Part Trey. Like, I'm down.
Yeah. What I like in contrast, like Frank Dux and Bruce Lee, a lot of their history is unverifiable, but what Frank lacks is the breadth of knowledge.
Yeah.
Like, he can't tell you about anything.
And he's like, I started my own school of
young
dudes.
That's what I didn't like either about his disrespect to the ninja arts is that he was like, oh, I'm the last surviving trainee. Like, I'm
this clan.
And then you're not going to teach it, bro? Like,
it's so
what?
Stupid. It's so
what?
Stupid.
You fucking asshole.
Yep.
It's. I wish I could lie like that, just by the seat of my pants, just like, oh, no, I won 300 fights.
Well, the fucking U.S. government put him under a psych evaluation and said he has fleeting and disconnected thoughts. Yeah.
he's like, well, I kept getting hit.
Well, I take so much damage in my fights. Some of them are very brutal.
I've been in 500 fights, bro.
Yeah,
what do you want from me?
What do you expect? If you, in the span of 1975 to 1981, accumulated 359 fights, that's a lot. Were you fighting every week?
There's
twice a week.
There's
for 6 years.
Amateur Muay Thai fighters that kind of record takes fucking your whole life.
Your whole life. There are dudes who are like 30-0 who have been fighting for 8 years. Like Habib is 28-0 and he's been fighting for 17 years. Like, it doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah, maybe he counts as gym smoker. Maybe he counts sparring sessions, bro. That's fucked up if you count.
He might just be a guy that walks in. I don't know if you've ever seen this video. There's a dude that walks into gyms, hands people boxing gloves, and like, you want to go? And then like knocks the dudes out and goes 28-0.
Yeah,
add that to the record. And it's like,
that dude's a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
What sucks too is like you can tell that he's had some training.
Yeah.
But he'll always tell him like, all right, we're gonna fuck around for a little bit, and then he just goes ham. Dude.
Starts throwing massive combos to dudes who aren't ready for it, and then they start covering up, and they're like, stop, and then he keeps hitting them, and they're like, stop. I said stop, and he's like,
I love watching him get his ass
35-0.
Did you see him when he got into that boxing gym?
Yeah. Oh. And then I think he tried to challenge Floyd Mayweather Sr. to a boxing fight.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
In the doghouse, bro. You don't do that there.
You don't do that there.
You don't. You might die.
Yeah.
You might legit die.
Yeah. And then I love whenever a dude really starts fighting with him, he immediately runs away.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I don't want to do this anymore. You guys are not fighting the way I said I wanted to do this.
Yeah, that dude's got problems for sure.
Oh, for sure, mental problems.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like, dude, come find me. Give me those gloves.
Yeah,
come. I'm right here, bro.
My name is Stephen Roth. You can find me at 757. No, I don't live there anymore.
You can just holler. You name it. I'll fight
Hit
you
me up
in the
on
parking
Instagram,
lot, bro.
Hit me up on Twitter.
It's very street beefs and like bum fights.
Yep. It's got a lot
He should do that.
Yeah.
Why not? Why are you doing that, bro? Probably
dude, I'm sweating. Why is it so hot in here right now? What's going on?
I think my AC's on, or it should be on.
Like if there was video, you'd be seeing me sweating bullets.
Talk to the
now.
people for a second.
Okay, I'm gonna talk to the people for a second. All right, listen, guys. If you ever find Frank Dux in real life, I want you to challenge him to a martial arts duel. And you don't even have to be a martial artist. I think you could probably beat him. I think he's so out of his mind. You can convince him that you and him would have an epic battle, and he'd be down. And then once you kick his ass, and he tells everybody that he murdered you with just his pinky ring. Like just a pinky ring finger. Like, then you can go online and we can all agree that Frank Dux is an idiot and an asshole.
He's also still alive.
Yeah, he's 76 years old.
Fucking
you
ridiculous,
easily kick his ass.
Dude.
Easily kick this dude's ass.
Let's find him. Let's set up that that dude that hands the boxing gloves to
Yes.
everyone with
him, Frank
Yeah,
Dux, and
there you go.
see who the biggest con man wins.
Yeah, let's real Kumite, bro.
Yeah,
We'll do it in my
God.
garage.
Oh my god, I'll get a katana and everything.
Yeah, I'll make you a katana. I'll fucking hammer it myself, dude.
Yep.
That would be amazing.
Oh, by the way, I started watching Baki.
Baki.
Yeah,
It's good, huh?
And it's very much this similar thing of like, listen, just fight in the street, anytime, and no holds barred.
That's
The
the
dude-
best tournament style.
Dude,
Are you kidding
and
me, bro?
Everybody in Baki looks like Broly from fucking
Yeah.
Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Just massive
Yeah.
and shredded.
Yeah.
Just muscles coming out of
Ridiculous.
their eyeballs, dude. Like, there's so much shit that happens. Like, when the dude got his hand sliced off.
And then punched him with
It
the
was with the
stump.
stump. He was like, I've been training with my hands, and
like,
sometimes I wish I
thank you.
didn't have fingers because they just hurt sometimes. So I'm going to punch you with my bloody stump. Oh my God,
Yo.
ridiculous.
So over
The
the
dude,
top.
he put bullets in the guy's face and then smushed his face so that the bullets would go off. And instead of his whole head exploding, it's just his cheeks that blew out. And then he continued to beat the fuck out of this guy, get shot in the kneecaps afterwards, and still win the fight. It is the most ridiculous
It's
thing I've ever
great
seen in my
because
life.
you never know when that person's dead.
Yeah.
Because they'll cut away and you're like, oh, that dude's for sure dead. And then he comes
Back,
back and you're
yeah.
like, oh, shit, what?
I don't. It's so over the top. The animation is ridiculous, and I love it.
it's the idea that someone would have this fucking micro wire to
I love he was talking about the tensile strength of it and how thin it is. And I was
it's
like,
so good.
and it's in a lighter. Like he hold. It was so weird.
It's so cool
Yeah.
that someone would come up with something like that, you know?
So I'm 4 episodes in, and it just keeps getting more and more ridiculous.
Baki's fights are hands down.
Yeah, I
like-
haven't seen him fight yet because everyone else has been fighting around him and protecting him. Because,
Well, I think right now, because you're watching on Netflix,
Yeah.
Baki's already champion, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's there's a whole other series where
Okay.
he's becomes the champion.
Yeah, because there's like
Also, he's a lot smaller in that one.
yeah. So there's Baki the Grappler.
Yeah.
Which is I guess the series before this, and then there's this Baki.
Just Baki.
Yeah.
It's just called Baki.
Baki, yeah, which is the Netflix series, and yeah, he's already champion. He just beat like him and some dude in a dojo went at it, and that dude went to another dojo, and then the guy that owned that dojo got his throat slit by one of the dudes that Baki's about to fight. It's just fucking weird. These dudes just go in and killing people.
But their idea of like, all right, you guys are all here to fight. Where? Wherever.
Anywhere, anytime, anywhere. You never know when it's gonna happen.
Do we have to?
Also,
watch
this
for
guy has
people?
gun. This guy has a gun. Like, why does he? How is that allowed in this fighting?
I love that they make it useless.
Yeah.
That
No,
they're like, yeah, you can use it. That's fine.
That's
I
fine.
don't fucking need you.
The guy eats 6 bullets to the face, and he's like, I'm fine.
I'll punch your bullets out of the air, bro.
It's so ridiculous.
That's like, I mean, that's what you want out of your martial
'cause
art,
it's,
right?
It's supposed to be these guys are insane super athlete fighters, but there's not real fighting going on because it's street fighting, so it's no rules at all. So dudes are using weapons like and weird shit like technology.
Yeah.
Like there's no hand to hand anymore. Because the moment they start going hand to hand, one guy's like, well, I don't like the fact that he's kicking me in the face, so I'm going to use my gun and blow his kneecaps out.
Yeah.
Like, then you're not a fighter.
But then it does. I think they actually explained it in the series of like, you know, a true martial artist, a true fighter is ready
For anything.
and willing at any point.
Yeah.
And a fight can happen at any point. And the only rules are that you have to win.
Yeah.
I like that.
Well, I thought it was funny that every person that these dudes would come into contact with, they would obliterate them with a head kick, and their whole head would come off their body, or they would punch them and they would explode into small bits. But like the other dudes that are supposed to be these super powerful guys can just eat kicks and it's fine. I'm like, if you have the ability to punch a dude's head off, like 3 dudes' heads off with one punch, but if you go up to this 17-year-old kid and punch him in the face, he's just like, ow, that hurt.
Fucking weird.
It's so weird. I love it though.
Baki's very did you watch Yu Yu Hakusho?
Yeah.
He's very Yusuke Urameshi
Yeah.
in the sense of like this is
That's
just
fucking, I guess.
this is what I'm good at. And he's like he's very
I'll
nonchalant
I'll
about
fucking
it.
fight you right now, I guess, dude. But like, man, it was really kind of sucked. I was gonna go on a date later. We were gonna walk through the park. It was gonna be really
There's
cute.
I think it's in the series before it, The Grappler. There's a fight scene with Baki where he just he's showing off his fight IQ because he wants to get the fight over with as quick as possible so he can leave.
Mm-hmm.
And so the guy's like throwing his hard shots and Baki just dips and then goes into him like he can take him down, and then disengages, and he just keeps doing that. He's like, I can't touch you, and then he just gives up, and then he leaves.
Oh my god!
Basically, he Khabibs him. He's just like, look, I took you. I basically was taking you down. Oh, I did it again.
Yeah.
Oh, look. Oh, now you're on your ass. Oh, you can't touch me. It's Holly Holm, essentially.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do, bro?
Also, they show Baki's dad, who is doing the Jean-Claude Van Damme splits when they show him, and he is like
the demon,
the most shredded person I've ever seen in anime in my entire life. It's muscles. It's muscles on top of muscles on top of muscles on top of muscles.
Mind you,
like
for
his
those that
hair
haven't seen
has
it,
muscles.
Baki has muscles on muscles.
Yeah.
And his dad is the muscle on top of his muscles and the muscles.
It's so ridiculous. Like, I like it when they were making this thing. They were like, so how much muscle should we give the characters? And they were just like, yeah.
It was like
Yes, all of it.
like that
All
scene
of it.
in Men in Black where he's putting sugar and more muscle,
Yeah,
more.
The dude was like, I don't know how. There's not enough space for me to draw. I'd have to zoom out to make more muscle. And they're like, yeah, well then do it.
I want to look like that when I grow up.
Oh my god.
Fuck, dude.
How many calories you'd have to consume a day to keep
9,000 at least. If you look like Baki's dad,
There's
15,
there's no way you can actually wipe your own ass with those
no.
muscles. There's no
well,
way.
He's so.
He might just grab dudes and just use their faces and wipes his own ass.
He probably just forces his shit out so hard.
There's no shit on the side of his ass cheeks at all.
No,
it's just,
not at all.
It's just poof.
Yeah, it's shaped like his intestines when it comes out. It cracks the porcelain in the toilet.
He has to consume so many calories that his shit just gets reconsumed into his body as calories.
Oh, that
he
would be
doesn't
smart.
shit at all. Yeah. He
It's just a
eats and it stays
recursive
there.
loop of nutrients.
Yep.
That's how you get diverticulitis, bro.
Yeah, but these guys are so shredded, it doesn't matter.
Yo, fucking.
So healthy.
God, what was his name? It was just on the tip of my tongue. He had diverticulitis. Brock Lesnar.
Oh yeah.
Brock Lesnar can play Baki's dad.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, maybe Brock Lesnar from 15 years ago.
Maybe.
He's a little pudgy now.
Yeah.
He's out of shape.
Fit Brock Lesnar
Yeah.
could play Baki's dad.
Yeah, 2007 Brock Lesnar could have done that.
2007 Overeem can also be in this cast
Yes.
as well.
Yep. Uberim.
Yeah. Dude.
And Francis Ngannou right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck.
Anyways, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah. We're closing this out anyway. 'Cause
Yeah,
we're closing
man.
it on an hour. What's next? What are we watching? Are you on John Wick at all? Have you?
Oh
have
no,
you
no,
watched
no.
any of that?
Okay, I think
What
this
do you
week.
What do you want to watch?
I think this week I want to tackle John Wick and maybe the kickboxer movie we were talking about. I'll look into it. See
Are
if
you
it's on
gonna?
any.
Do you want to finish John Wick the series?
Yeah,
or
I'm
you
gonna
just
finish the
wanna-
series.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna finish the series. We'll just do that.
We can chew on that for a
Yeah,
little
and then
while,
there's
too.
fights this weekend, or the fights today. So I might
Yeah.
watch the Corey Sanhagen one just to see what happens.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
might find a stream too while I edit these.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then we'll
Where
talk
can
more
they
about
find
it.
you,
You
bro?
can find me on Instagram at xroth_, and you can find me on Twitter at xroth. I tried to get those lined up, but they just won't let me, man.
Yeah.
There's just
Maybe
someone
just make a
else
new
out
one.
there. Maybe.
Steven, I don't know.
I don't know. I've had the
Something.
xroth for so long, man. It's my gamer tag. It's everything about me. But you can just find me there, and you can find me on this podcast, and you can find me at home crying in my bed with my stuffy cookie.
Also, shout out to at the Black Sphinx.
Yeah.
For our
Black
intro.
Sphinx, yeah.
Fucking dope intro. Give him a follow. I'm at the George F everywhere. If you could like what we do, let us know. Slide in the DMs, rate, comment, subscribe. Let us know if you have a fight movie.
Challenge me to a fight in the street when the next time you see me. I'll fucking square
or
up.
that,
No,
dude.
yeah.
I'll give you wire if you want.
Yes, I need that 20,000 tensile strength wire.
If you like what we do, go to www.thebuddysystem.co for everything. Slide in our DMs, talk to us. If you want to juice up with us and you got some steroids to share, holla at your boys. We'll talk to you later. Thanks for listening.
Fight
Bye.
clean, baby. Fight clean.
Deu nothing. Eu dei nothing. Not one of you deu nothing.
I'm not impressed by your performance.
When the opponent expands, I contract. When he contracts, I expand.